Marc Powers is the director of the USF School of Theater and Dance, and he joins us now on University Beat, and welcome.
Thank you.
Well, Sweet Charity is a well-known show, but this fall, the school also put on Mathematics of Love.
Yes.
And so it got me thinking, how do you decide what productions to do?
It's a challenge. You know, there isn't really a formula for it. If there was, we'd be a science instead. But no, I mean, we try to do a balance of things that the audience has heard of, so that we'll hopefully draw more people in to see things, and hopefully they'll see that and they'll go, oh, well, what else is the school doing? And for me, often the other things are the more exciting ones because they're more challenging. They're challenging students' ideas about things. They may be more difficult technically to do, or it may just be that they haven't been done enough and the student isn't sitting there thinking, well, how has this always been done, and what do I have to do? Instead it's, oh, nobody's ever done this before. I get to make the first choice. I get to be the one that puts the signature on how to play this role.
Yeah, because that helps in the development of the students' talents and skill.
Yes, because it's, what is in here is what the actor has to work with. That's it. You have this, and a lot of it is what's in the imagination, but the rest of it is what's in the experience that you have. And the more that you get to explore something that is divergent from the norm, the more is there to resonate, the more there to bring out in the work that you do.
What productions are planned for this school year?
Well, beyond these two, the next show will be Antigone, which is an old Greek drama. But this will not be that old Greek drama, because it'll be a brand new script that is done. Probably far more contemporary. I don't know all the answers to that, because the playwright and the director, who are our guests from the London stage, coming over and working for 8 weeks with the students, they're still working on crafting that play, and they will still be working on crafting it when the actors are working with them. So the students their voice will be included in what that final script is like.
What's the benefit of that kind of British collaboration for the students and the university?
There are multiple benefits to it. I think first is recognizing that there are different ways of approaching doing theater. And the British way and its history is significantly different than the American way and its history, both in the approach to acting as well as the approach to the craft of theater. But also, when you think about how, when you're working in the arts, and in theater in particular, the kind of networking you do and who you get to know and who you get to work with, and the potentials for what can happen after that become far greater. I know a lot of our students who have done the Brit productions have later, when they've visited in England, visited with those artists who were their mentors during the project when they were here, and they've allowed that connection to grow and to build, and that's fantastic.
You've gotten quite a few of your students to travel abroad.
Oh yeah.
To what countries?
Well, the theater students tends to be primarily English-speaking countries, like Scotland and England, and there've been some others down into some of the Caribbean islands as well. The dance students tend to travel a little bit more worldly, because language is not a barrier to viewing a performance the same way. They've been working a lot in France and in Italy and in Tunisia and throughout the Caribbean and China. So yeah, they're heavily traveled.
USF is certainly recognized as a top-tier research university and nationally recognized business school. What about theater and dance? Where would you say USF School of Theater and Dance fits nationally?
We have to sort of look at both of those disciplines differently, because theater and dance aren't always put together on a national level. But when it comes to theater, theater is a liberal arts program here, and it's an undergraduate-only liberal arts program. So when we compare it to other ones like that, we look very good. We're a solid program, and things like the British International Theatre Program being a part of it, that adds a little bit more cachet to it. With dance, dance is a BFA program predominantly here on this campus, a professional training program. And there are not as many of them in the country as there are theater programs. And it is looked at very highly regarded. Highly regarded enough that the American Ballet Theatre wants to have a summer intensive done here, using some of our faculty and our facilities and everything else, because they see our program as being a solid program that's
Well, that's a big feather in your cap.
Yeah, it's a nice feather.
You know, there's so much of an emphasis on, STEM classes, science, mathematics. Make the case for
STEAM
teaching.
instead of STEM?
Yes.
Well,
make the case for the arts and supporting the arts.
Well, let's just take the idea of what's a STEM? It's a hollow tube. What's steam? It's energy. It's energy that's traveling through a hollow tube. So the arts are the energy that's traveling through the hollow tube of STEM. It is, we think about solving problems critically, creatively, collaboratively. Where do you find more of the creative and the collaborative?
The arts.
In the arts. So is there something to be learned by exploring the arts for somebody who's in the STEM areas? Definitely. It may well make their approach to what they do that much more powerful, that much more convincing, that much more innovative. Take away the arts and it becomes more mechanical.
Marc Powers, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us in University
My
Beat.
pleasure. Thank you.